That was tasty. What's happening, people? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to the Soundproof Hunger Room. It's been a minute, but we ain't going nowhere. Sometimes we just take a little break, gather our thoughts, work on some things, and then we come back and we give y'all what we came up with. So understand this is going to be a nice, fun-filled, entertainment-filled program. What you got, 18?
What up, dog? Let's get going, dog. Let's get going.
All right. Seems like you got
how everybody doing?
Got a lot on your mind there, bro.
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, as I said, it's been a minute since we've been here, so it's a lot of stuff we ain't talked about. So we're going to backtrack a little bit just because we want to give y'all our thoughts on some of the stuff that's been happening that we missed out on. And in order for me to do that, I got to do what? Start the news up. We're going to start off at the top, man. Let's go all the way back to the draft, the NFL draft 2025. And the biggest name out of the draft was Shedeur Sanders. And it wasn't because of where he got drafted. Well, it had everything to do with where he got drafted. But it was more so where everybody thought he should have got drafted. And what was behind it? What was your thoughts on that?
Eventually, he got drafted. He didn't go where he was projected to go. Did he sabotage his own shit? I can't say that. Did the NFL try to show that we still run this? Yeah. That's what every now and then they gotta pull the strings and let people know they still run it. Prove everybody wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the setup was, whatever. Just prove everybody wrong. Do I think he should have been drafted that high? No, because I don't. He's okay. You know what I'm saying? But based on the competition, I think he did what he was supposed to do versus the competition he had. You know what I'm saying? I always pick Cam Ward to go first. So, it was what it was. I just don't think he was the quarterback that everybody thought he was. For me, it's based on who he played against. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to that top 10, who he played, wasn't none of them teams really up there. You know what I'm saying?
So the quarterback outside of Cam Ward, deservingly saw him going first. Outside of that, the other quarterbacks, you think they were supposed to be drafted?
I just think it's a lot of the engine behind him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he ain't talented, but the engine behind him to go high for whatever reason, but it didn't happen. I don't want to, say that. Sometimes you talk too much and it'll cost you. So I think this might have been a situation where too many people was talking, and it cost him.
I think that had to play a lot of play with it. I also looked at, like I said, it was some quarterbacks that got drafted prior to him that I thought weren't better than him. Of course, his dad.
Let me ask you this. Can you say every quarterback that got drafted before him was better than him or was not better than him?
I can't say everyone.
Yeah,
but
it was some.
It was some.
Absolutely.
Right. So I also look at, because when he went to the combine and he kind of did his own thing, they look at that because it is a system. I'm not going to and we like to say how we can do things our way, and yes, it is. But when you go to a job, if you have to wear a uniform, you can't show up in your gym wear and think you finna clock in. Right. Some things you have to go or abide by the lines, and if you don't, there are going to be some repercussions to it. Sure. I think that had something to do with it. I also think it had to do with his dad. I think when we look at the history of black fathers and their sons in sports that are very outside of the box, they tend to want to try to prove a point. And I think that had a lot to do with it, where they were saying, teams were saying, well, if we pick him, we got to deal with Deion. And I never felt like that was the case.
That was the case either.
Yeah, that was some kind of line they came up with or an excuse. And then one thing that I did notice that made sense, that somebody brought to my attention, was during the draft, the average American does not watch the NFL draft. With this draft and his name, so many people was watching And so the NFL literally was telling teams, take him off your board so we can continue to get these ratings.
That's speculation.
Look at how many people. How many people? When was the last time you heard a draft all the way to the 6th round?
I don't even know nobody really sat and actually watched the draft. Everybody
exactly, but everybody was watching it this time up to the 6th round.
Was it a record number? I think after that point, what you're saying, but I don't think they'll sabotage their own squads like that for him. Nobody bigger than the team, bro. Nobody bigger than the program. Sometimes you gotta learn that. It's the hard way.
Yeah, well, that's my take on the Shedeur Sanders situation.
I mean, because what's the draft like? The first 2 rounds is whatever.
Yeah,
I don't never watch the draft. Like
I don't either.
That ain't my thing. So
I use the ticker. I go on ESPN, and as they dropping, I see who dropping. After the first round, I'm not looking no more.
I go on Instagram and wait till they get there. Welcome to Detroit.
When they meet them in the camp.
Man, I ain't watching no draft, bro. I'm not sitting there. I got things to do.
I feel you. Let's stay on sports for a little bit. One thing that happened that was pretty big, and it's kind of gotten quiet now. I'm surprised that it's gotten quiet. I guess he kind of getting itself together. Shannon Sharpe's sex allegations came out, and it to me was so convenient after he just signed a very lucrative contract with ESPN that the young lady that he had been dealing with for years, well, she was a girl, came out and said that he assaulted her. So a lot of stuff came out. He stepped back, and I haven't heard from him since. And that's been over.
You don't watch Nightcap, though?
No, I don't. Look
yeah, he still do Nightcap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that situation?
I mean, pork make your feet fat, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna learn. Stop messing around with that pork. You know what I'm saying?
Context. It was a young white woman that Shannon Sharpe was dealing with. If you don't know what you're talking about.
Swine make your feet fat. You know what I'm saying?
What was your thoughts on her age? Because they said when they started, she was 19.
I mean,
he was what, 50? Right at 50?
Something like that. I mean, it's all nasty to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, but then
to me, that's nasty. Like, yeah, I get the whole older men date younger women. That's nasty to me though. Like,
I agree.
The age gap matters to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them people that, that matters. So I mean, and then he found her on OnlyFans, from what I understand. Like, I wish Unc the best in that situation, but learn from your mistakes, man, and watch what you say on them shows, man, because somebody watching to use it against you. They did. Definitely. One episode he said, I don't want to date my age. I want to date my wage. You know what I'm saying? He's saying what my money can get me, I should be able to have. Pork make your feet fat, man. Brothers, y'all better understand what I'm saying. Y'all better stop that.
Oh, man. And then that brought out the whole conversation of older men dating younger women. And I think, some of the stuff was clickbait. Guys come, I've always dated younger and this and this and that. And like you said, for me, it becomes a maturity thing. Like, and they kind of go along with not Ricky Pierce. Dang, why I always call him Ricky Pierce? I don't know. Pierce from Boston.
Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce was talking about how only poor people get married and poor and old people get married. And it was like, bro,
I ain't watched the show yet. I heard about it. I ain't watched it.
What you talking about? But anyway, clickbait. But they were talking about how a lot of men were coming out and just saying how they prefer to date younger once they reach like a certain age, as if, there's no available women, or they just don't want women of their own age.
Men want easy entertainment. Women want stability and something that's calm in most cases. So, I mean, we all know that. You ain't got to be poor or rich to know that. You know what I'm saying? You see younger women. Remember, you was in high school, and chick came, her boyfriend came to the school to pick her up. Yeah. He was much older. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, now that we out, we in our we almost 50, we go out to a lot of places, and a younger woman might walk in and see an older gentleman. Mm-hmm. You be like, what's that about? But you know what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think it's just part of the game. I think it's part of the game. I just think when it gets to, like you said, certain gaps is just too much.
Yeah, certain things. That's crazy.
That's
like if I got kids older than you, or even like 5 years in your age range, you're not for me.
right.
In their age range, I meant to say. But that whole that's to me that's crazy. Like that's a big gap. I don't know what we can talk about. I don't know what, but I guess it's all about what you're in it for. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at that aspect too. A lot of people say, I don't know what we can talk about. What I can learn from you. You might not be in it for that.
Right.
You might ain't gotta learn nothing. You gotta learn how to hold this meat the way I like it. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. But
yeah,
everybody not in it for the deep part, and I think that's where we mess up in a lot of this, man. Everybody ain't in it for the sun, moons, and stars. Some people just want that thunder, that lightning right then, and then they want to go on about their day. I think that's where a lot of people get it mixed up. What are you there for? And I think once people understand what they there for, the relationships that they get into, situationships, whatever y'all want to call them, it makes sense. But if until that is decided, we all playing the game.
Yeah, at that point it is just kind of functional.
Yeah, you just
Yeah, it is.
like I ain't getting into this for all that. I didn't even want to go to dinner. I'm trying to. I want you for dinner, and then I'm trying to go home. Like
right.
a lot of like it take a mature woman to, in my opinion, to be with a man and know that's what it is, and she's able to leave it there, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? If they just knocking each other off, she ain't asking for nothing else. She ain't expecting nothing else but to get knocked off, or to put some pain down. You know what I'm saying? And then go about her day, and she okay with that. Like it takes a very mature woman, and I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't looking from that from you. You know what I'm saying? And she okay with where y'all at. I think that's dope. I respect that more than somebody trying to set you up and trying to see where it's gonna go. And then when you change lanes on her and she talking about something, what you had me for? Well, damn, we was doing what I had you for.
Right.
What we had each other for. Let's put it in that content. And I think this what Unc might have been on. He might have been on. I ain't trying to do nothing with this. Just tap it a little bit and go about my business. It just happened that she's young. She young, man. Like she young.
Very young.
You know what I'm saying? So
saw that check. He was already paying her. Offered the $10 million to just.
I think if he'd have just kept quiet, man, he'd have been all right. I think once he started coming out what he was doing, what he wasn't doing, then he come to find out he was doing, and that's where I think he got in trouble, man. Shout out to Unc though, man. Hey man, try turkey. You know what I'm saying? A little beef every now and then, but pause.
He like what he like.
But leave that pork alone, man.
He said he like what he like. But I agree with you with all relationships ain't built on the deepness, the love,
man,
and this and that. And then
I
I think a lot of
man.
times people do go in situations. If you make an agreement at the beginning,
that's what it is.
Your feelings start changing. That don't mean the other person's feelings have to change as well. So if you make this agreement, stick to that. But and then when it change, go to that person and ask them, hey, my feelings changed, what we doing? But don't just automatically assume.
See, I think that's the bad part right there, just to say what we doing. No, what you doing. Your feelings change. I'm cool where I'm at. What you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm more of the communication type. So if you come to me and you say, hey, I'm feeling this way and I'm not there, nah, we good. All right, I'm going to go about my business, vice versa. But sometimes I've been on the other side where my feelings got involved.
She was hitting you like that?
Man, knocking me out. Put me straight to sleep.
No,
you know what I'm talking about? Then I'm like, hey, what's
Eddie
up?
And Boomerang grabbing the sheets.
What's up with you? Oh, nah, we good. That's what we
said.
You
know what I'm saying? Like,
and I curled up like a little fetus.
And all of a sudden, you upset at her.
I wasn't mad at her. It was real. You know what I'm saying? But you have to take that. So when you lay those ground rules, stick to the ground rules. And if it changed for you, you need to open your mouth and say something and let the other person make a decision.
Hey, I got to go, man. You killing me over here. I got to ride out. I get you, because I am. Let's go.
All right. This is another thing. This is not really news. This is just an observation that I made and just paid attention to that. If you look at any sports event, I don't know if people have noticed how much promotion goes behind sports betting right now on a universal level. I think you always had, back in the day, you had your parlays, you had little pools here and there. But now it's so readily available for anybody to sports bet And I think it's so subconsciously that people don't really understand how embedded it is now in everybody's society, because that doesn't stop at 18-year-old and up that's watching sports. If a 12-year-old sitting here watching the game, and then here come this, this sports betting, hey, Dad, what's that?
Yeah.
And then you can pull up the app. It's addictive on the phone with the app, so now you really
very accessible.
It's very accessible. So I look at it like America now has put something else on us in order to get our money and to make us fall into some kind of, I won't say trap, but just kind of things that I've noticed that.
Gambling been going on for a long time. Either in the, the underground world, casinos, numbers games. You know what I'm saying? It's been going on for a long time. It's just easier to access now.
Yeah.
So we should expected this when they allowed it. In sports, because it's sports everywhere. You can bet on a quarter. You can bet on the first shot. In basketball, you can bet on first touchdown, first down. You know what I'm saying? So many ways to get money and lose money that for the average person that might have a $20 in their pocket might be like, you know what, I can pick 6. You know what I'm saying? And I might be able to turn that 20 into 150. Grand. You know what I'm saying? Like. The excitement of it, I think, with the prize pick is what got a lot of people. I was on it for a minute. It was just to see if I could actually pick this right. You don't cost a lot of money to get in, but if you want to win big, you got to bet big.
And it'd be so funny, though, because you'll have all your bets right, and somebody might need like 20.5 points.
Yeah.
And they'll hit 20, and you be like, what the hell?
You got to bet the up or down.
Yeah,
that's what gets you.
It'd be so
down.
close. You be like, man, this shit rigged.
Yeah, it's somebody that's putting them numbers together. The AI, somebody's putting them numbers together. They gathered all the information from this player for over the years and came up with this statistic. And you betting against that. So anybody that win, congratulations. I got a young boys at work. You know what I'm saying? They real heavy into it. You know what I'm saying? But for them, it's they lose a couple of dollars, they good. Me, I'm trying to figure out what ain't getting done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't drinking the next couple of days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This weekend, I hope somebody else bought a bottle. I ain't got.
Right. I'm gonna have to eat this lettuce sandwich.
You know what I'm saying? Something, but it's all fun, man. Just as long as you got control of yourself. Right. A person in my family had to put themselves on the list for going to the casino. Yeah, it got out of hand, but they recognized it. And they took control of it, and for them, I guess the best decision they made. I guess they was taking too much money to the casino. Yeah.
Wow. All right, we got one more sports subject before we move on, and this one is sports related, but it's not about sports. Gilbert Arenas has a podcast, and he has Kenyon Martin on there, Nick Young, and McCants, and Rashard McCants.
It's different cats. Sometimes D Brown. D Brown daughter be on there. Sometimes Cheryl Swoops be on there. Sometimes they have a guest.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So recently, Kenyon Martin and Nick Young got into a big argument, and for me, again, I try not to look at those types of things, especially when it's us. But in that situation, I feel like both of them was wrong, to a certain extent. They were arguing. I guess they were having a discussion about. Greg Popovich, and he's finally retiring, and Kenyon Martin was basically giving him his flowers. And Nick Young just pulled his phone out and was kind of scrolling, and Kenyon Martin got mad and, went at his head, verbally, not physically. But it got to where they was like, we can go outside, man, what we doing? So I'll let you say your piece, and then I'll come back and say how I felt about it.
I'm Team Nick Young. In the situation, for reasons of, I've been Kenyon Martin on this show. Very wrong, very loud. You got to get control of yourself, brother. You can't tell another grown man to shut the F up. We talking about grown men now. We just ain't. That's very belittling to a grown man, especially it's being recorded, it's live, whatever. You gotta get control of yourself, brother. Kenyon Martin has this I'm tougher than everybody on the show. Like I really watched the show. You know what I'm saying?
He was like that in the league,
and they give him this. You know, they give him OG status. And a lot of times he oversteps his boundaries, and I think a lot of them just they wave it off because it don't mean as much to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I've episodes he calling them boys and fool and all that. Like I get it. We all from different parts of the world. I ain't never known ever a black man to be cool being called a boy. In no way, shape, or fashion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Better be a home in front of it. Better say this is my partner, but boy is a word that I ain't never seen black men be cool with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nick stood on his. He had to stand up for himself because, in my eyes, because at that point, if I give you what you asked me for the way you asked me, I ain't sleeping with that. Because if I feel a certain way, I need to be able to voice it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It ain't like this y'all first time on the show. You was sitting there like Kwame Brown said. It does take Kenya Martin a long time to land a plane. Mm. You know what I'm saying? He was very passionate about, Greg Popovich and all that. Man, land the plane, man. You respect the dude. Let's move on. You getting all deep into it. Maybe Nick wasn't. I didn't know Nick was talking until he said, I'm trying to keep from telling Nick to shut the F up. Mm. I didn't even know Nick was talking until that moment. Because you couldn't even hear it.
I didn't hear nothing.
So at that point, man, you really you was in your feelings about Popovich, who you never played for. You had, you Olympic team. You just respected him a lot, and you wanted the floor to say what you needed to say, but you're still going to address me a certain way. Mm. I would never be on this show ever again. At the beginning of this, we ain't had too much, etiquette or nothing. Right. We were just wilding.
Wow, yeah.
But I would never sit across from you and say, yo, shut the F up. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a grown man, dog. Like, right. I can't expect nothing but from whatever come with that. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And like Kwame said, shout out to Kwame Brown. A lot of people say what they want to. A man on the road ain't gonna never win no home game. Not in that situation. And they in LA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope they address it on the show as professional black men. I do hope they address it. I don't hope they sweep it under the rug because a lot of people seen that. And to me, Kenyon looked like a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you thought you was gonna punk dude. And dude was stood on his own. You know what I'm saying? Which he should have. I think he deserved the right to stand on that because of how you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? And he said it. You can't talk to me like that. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Then you a kid and all this. No, he's not a kid. He a grown man. You just older than him.
Right.
But he's still a grown man. You got to give him that respect. Mm-hmm. Especially in that situation. But, I probably Nick Young every 10 toes town in that. You tell me to shut the F up, you're going to have to make me at that point. And it's going to have to be physical. Mm. Because at that point, you ain't about to talk to me crazy and I'm just going to be like, oh, okay, let's just calm it down. Hell, I ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. As a grown man.
As a grown man, I mean, we all got,
in front of millions.
We all got buttons that we don't want being pushed because it take us somewhere else. Mm. And maybe that's one with Nick. Nick like, nah, man, you ain't talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be professional at the end of the day, man. Mm-hmm. I get it. It's freestyle. Ain't nobody been to college to doing podcasts and all that. A lot of us just got microphones and started talking. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But if we partners, that should always be in the back of your mind when we get into arguments that,
right.
Yo, this ain't my enemy. Funny. This
right.
my brother.
And after the show, we be like, hey, man, we can't.
Like, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should hurt us more than anything that we actually there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I hope they piece that up, man. And did Gil sit back and let it happen?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But, I mean, he should have stepped in. I'm pretty sure even if we had Crespo standing here, you know what I'm saying? Crespo see us going back and forth. Crespo at least going to be like, yo, man, y'all chill out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Y'all chill out. Just to even put it in the air that one of us might think, like, you know what? We wilding. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? He right. You know what I'm saying? Let us chill out. Whatever we talk about off the camera is off the camera. But on the camera, man, we got to be a unit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I'm on Team Nick with that one, though. You know what I'm saying? I
feel you. And this is where I feel like because everybody now has a camera and a microphone and, podcasts are so relaxed. I feel like there is a certain type of decorum or standard that you should have when you are doing these types of interviews or these sit downs and you talking, even at the podcast. So I know we've talked about it a couple of times. You come in here and you on your phone scrolling and we have conversations.
Right.
I'm gonna feel some kind
right.
of way.
You like, dang,
but I'm not
I
gonna
gave him the respect. He can't give me respect.
He can't give me right.
And I was bad at that.
Right.
You know
so
what I'm
I was
saying?
like, but I'm not gonna just shoot right at your head off of that. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm talking. You know, whatever.
Exactly.
You push forward, and we talk about it later on.
Right.
So I felt Kenyon Martin, but at the same time, to piggyback what you were saying, as a grown man, you have to be mature enough to control your emotions.
Yeah, you gotta control that, man.
Yeah, you be like, hey, man, I take a little sneak shot later on. Like, well, when I was talking, somebody was on their phone or
exactly,
whatever. You know,
exactly.
something like that. But I'm not finna just fire off like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's why I said for both of them, for me, I thought it was just, I didn't like it, but also that's the type of stuff people like to see. I'm sure those clips
ratings
went through the thing.
You know everybody jumped on it right away.
Yeah.
Yo, and shout out to you too, because you know you do the couple minutes thoughts with Sean. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
and,
that.
And you know that's something I need to get into as well. Everybody jumped on it just like that. Like as soon as it was done, I went on YouTube, man. There was so many people just talking about it, and the only people that ain't talked about it since it happened is them.
It's them.
I even looked at Jeff Teague in a podcast to see if they mentioned it. They ain't mentioned it at all neither. So it's a fraternity with that as well. You know what I'm saying? But people that's just going out for ratings, they talking about it, man.
Oh yeah,
they talking about it, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I just try not to get caught up in that, but it is what it is. Moving on, now we off of the sports. Let's go into something more entertainment wise. Joe Budden's podcast. Yeah, Joe Budden. He had Mark Lamont Hill on there. Hill.
He's a regular on there now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just saw that they starting to try to work him in.
He's a regular.
And Mark Lamont Hill is a professor. He's written a couple of books. He's very versed in politics. Very intelligent individual. I don't agree with everything that he says, but a lot of stuff that he says makes sense, and he's well versed in things outside of what you're normally going to talk about on a entertainment podcast. I'll say that. So I think for him, he's more of the brains now that they can kind of reference if they're talking about certain situations like politics.
Yeah, he got a pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, versus everybody else.
Yeah, and that's why Joe Budden's podcast is great, because he has people for certain pockets.
Yeah, he got a pocket. Yeah.
So that's a pocket. So the one clip that I saw about when Mark Lamont was talking about reparations, and Ish was one light-skinned brother that said, now, they shouldn't get money and this and that. They should get it in assets, or what did he say?
Equity.
Equity. He said in equity. And so they kind of went back and forth. And I saw another clip when they were off camera, and him and Ish was talking about this other situation where Ish was saying, well, no, I just looked it up. And this is now, I think, the study of phrenology or something like that.
Yeah.
And Mark Lamont was like, bruh, I just wrote a book about it. He
was versed in it. He very versed in a lot of things.
Right. So he was like, I don't care what you looked at. I'm telling you what my profession is, and this is part of my profession, and I just worked on it. And it just could not stand down. It was just like he just could not say, you know what, you might be better versed at this conversation, and maybe I could sit back and learn. And that's the problem I'm starting to see with a lot of people in general. No longer do professionals know what they talking about, quote unquote. We all feel like we all know what the hell going on, but if I'm talking about fixing the engine, and it's a mechanic sitting right here, I'm not going to sit here and Google something and say, hey, nah, this is what it is, and this dude been working on cars for 20 years. I'm not finna argue with you. Dang, when I thought this. Yeah. But nah, bro, you got to do it this way, and that's what's happening. Okay, boom. Wow. But in today's society, everybody feel like they know everything because of this AI. You can pull up stuff to the point to where you don't even listen to professionals no more. And I think that is getting us so far away from just being human.
You finished?
Yeah.
In that situation, Ish did a interview with a young lady, and they were talking about reparations. I think the problem when we talk about reparations that we only talk about the money aspect of it, because that's all people really care about. But it's money and land, it's money and education. Free education. It's a lot more to that than just somebody passing you a check. I think the thing that people are still running with, that black people aren't financially literate, have financial literacy. I think that's getting very old. I think we need to stop using it, because black people definitely have put their right foot in front of their left when it comes to becoming more financial literate, so they can make better decisions as far as money. I think that's something that a lot of people hold on us, just like they do, like we're very violent, things like that. Like they paint us in these pictures. And I think that as long as we're okay with accepting that as what they call a fact, we all at fault for that. Because I know some brothers, as well as you do, that are very financial literate. You know what I'm saying? Some sisters as well, mostly sisters, but very financial literate. You know what I'm saying? Do we spend money? Yes. And this is the problem I have with that whole thing of us spending money, consumers, with all that. Everybody buys something. It's just about what it is that we buy. You know what I'm saying? Do we buy things that's valuable? We buy things that's valuable to us at the time. We are very minute-to-minute people. Where some people might buy things that might hold a little more value, but they really don't care about it. Things that we buy, we kind of passionate about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about when brothers win gym shoes off sneakers and all that. They got to post and let somebody know. Got them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus some people that buy things and just you got to run into them to see that they got it. They really don't care about it. They wanted it, but they got it. Yeah. And it holds a little more value. This whole black people spend money and these are all facts. We do spend money in retail at a record-setting number more than anybody else. But that don't mean that money ain't being wasted somewhere else with another group of people. We have to start standing up for ourselves and things like that. And what their conversation was, I think you had barbershop philosophy versus professional philosophy. And I think that's where we come in this collision. You know what I'm saying? Because in the barbershop, somebody in there always going to sound like, oh, okay, he got it together. You know what I'm saying? Right. Until somebody walk in the barbershop that they the normal, be like, well, what y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying?
How are y'all going?
It's just what it is. The barbershop has some people be the smartest in the room that really need to go sit down and read a book. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, I heard the conversation, man. I think it was blown out of proportion because Ish did speak some truth in some of the things he was saying. I think since they were just so fast, they were just so focused on talking about the money aspect, everything else went untalked about, and I think that was the problem with that conversation. Because it's just not about somebody handing you a check.
And he said that. Yeah. Mark said that. He said nobody said stop or don't give us the money. We're talking about assets, free education.
Absolutely. And to say don't give the people that deserve it, because all y'all not getting a check, all y'all didn't come from slaves. Right. And that aspect of how that check is passed out. The education, the land, and just everything that comes along with reparations, I would never tell somebody don't give.
And I hated that money. Ish said, we don't want handouts. Nigga, it's not a handout. And I think this is old.
Yeah, because I think if you look at it from where he's standing, I don't know if he's completely black.
Right, and that's why I didn't ever.
I don't know. So I mean, if he's mixed, maybe he's looking at it from an aspect of that. And then, from what I understand, he's in real estate, so that comes with a lot of hustle. So he might look at it like, I built myself from the ground up. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. He might look at it like that. You know what I'm saying?
You need to know history.
But, when it comes to those checks, those checks come off of things that can be proven, that has been proven that was made off the back of people that look like you and I. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, educate yourself, man, and just keep the content going on that. I think it was a very good conversation based on the easy conversations we could have. We could easily talk about nonsense sports and all that. But that's a
Yeah.
conversation. I like to hear the other people. I like to hear black people's knows of why they feel like we shouldn't get it. I really do, because it's two sides of that. Everybody don't feel the same.
I do enjoy the train of thought. And it always brings conversation, and if you open to learn something, you might get something out of it.
Right.
Kind of going along those same lines. What did you think about when Wallow came out and did his? He did like a.
Oh, the thing about you,
the fundraiser,
not supporting you because you're just black. I thought about you and Crespo.
Yeah.
Like I really did. Like I thought about you and Crespo. Like they kind of say the same thing. Like I'm not just going because you black. I think in a way that's a problem. I should always give you a try. I should always give you points just because you black. That's just how I look at things. Now, how much you get from me determines on your service. Your how hospitable you are, how clean the place is. If we talk about restaurants, things like that,
right.
That determines a lot too. But you definitely gonna get a nod. Even if I don't go, I might tell somebody else to go,
right? Just
because you black. I'm definitely on the side of that. Wallow says a lot of things. Some things I agree with, some things I don't. I think he meant well. He meant to spark a conversation. He got it going. What he was saying, if it ain't clean, I ain't going. Those are simple facts that anybody should live by. Like, why would I go want to eat somewhere that's dirty? Even though when I do go to the crib, I go to Coney Island. They might not be
for the food though.
Yeah, but I'm going for the food. But I know if the health grade is an A, I'm probably not coming back because it's not what I need. I need that C. I need the one that made the news.
I was going to say I don't even be looking at the grade.
I'm just saying, like the ones that make the news to me got the better food. Like if it's all A+ all the way around, I probably trash behind that grill. You know what I'm saying? So I get what he's saying in that, but some of that was just shock value, I think, and he got it off.
Yeah, my thing, and I stand behind it. But my thing is because I do, like you said, I do go to black establishments first.
Right.
I am one of those. The only difference with me and what Wallow did was I'm not gonna come out here and tell y'all to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? For me, because I am gonna go where I know this is proper, this is moving this way, or I don't feel like I'm finna get bust over the head over gratuity just because it's a new establishment. I'm not gonna come out and tell people don't support black business because it's a black business. I would never say that, but I will in my own movements. I'm gonna go where I want to go.
Absolutely.
But I will try my folks.
Yeah, I'm not. Nobody's pressuring me to spend my money nowhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the black, white, orange, green. Nobody's pressuring me to spend my money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The energy he had on it.
He was very passionate about it. But I think he was passionate about it because he cared. I'm not gonna say because he was trying to downgrade or get people to not support black people just because I think he cares.
Okay.
So he said what a lot of us been saying. He just on the stage and has the voice that it rings louder. That's all.
Okay. Moving on. Like I said, man, we got a lot to cover today, so we making good time. I don't know which one I want to start with. Let's start with the white lady.
What white lady?
The white lady that was caught on tape calling the 5-year-old black kid a nigga.
I ain't heard nothing about it.
You ain't hear? Okay. She got caught. Guy was at a park. Caught this white lady yelling at this little 5-year-old autistic kid. Called him nigga. He started recording it. Oh, you just gonna do that? Boom, boom. She was like, yeah, and she stood by it.
Right.
So, of course, he posted it, So, immediately, she went out and started whatever the other thing is, like a GoFundMe, but it's called GoSend.
She knew she was about to lose her gig.
Do you know how much money she raised?
She probably raised a great amount.
Close to $700,000.
Yeah, I can see that.
For saying the N-word.
Yeah, she stood on it.
So all these people came out and made this money. So now, of course, and this was the same company that had the money for Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
And so people are looking at it like, y'all can give money to this. It just shows how racist a lot of the country still is, and that people tend to try to act like it doesn't exist. But you're literally giving this lady money for calling somebody a little autistic kid the N-word. And so they even went after the company. Now, what they said, the company, they don't go into like GoFundMe. They say they don't go into saying, okay, what is this money being raised for? They just say if it's set up and the money goes in there, we're going to set it up, the money go in there, y'all do what y'all going to do with it, once it's released. So they got people working on it that's trying to say, nah, we're going to shut this down so that this woman doesn't get this money. And that's the same thing they try to do with Carmelo Anthony.
I think they should give her the money because if it's not brought to the light the way it is, they would have still gave her the money. How we know people that donate to Carmelo Anthony ain't donate to this lady as well? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's it's bigger problems than them giving her money. Yeah, I don't care. People gonna get money doing crazy things in life anyway. Let's deal with the problem at hand is the verbal abuse of an autistic black man, a kid.
Right.
Let's deal with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest problem in the whole thing. I mean, we done seen people get money for things that they, I done bail people out of jail for things that I know they need to sit in jail for. So, I mean, I can't sit here and be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
So, I mean, to think that you could just, walk the earth and be that way, that's the problem for me because you're going to run up on somebody that's going to give you that lesson. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who you was with. I don't know how they sit with things. But that's just one word that ain't flying. I know a lot of people be sitting there talking, turn your back, walk away from it. That ain't the word. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you think people use it to weaponize, to try to make you do something?
Absolutely, make you do something crazy. Yeah. They get me every time.
So you got some work to do.
Yeah, I ain't got no work to do. I ain't changing that. You run your mouth like that, it's going down.
You're going to give them something.
Absolutely. All physical action at that point. I ain't about to sit there and laugh at it and you ain't getting the power over me. You got a gray skull, all the power. Word.
Say gray skull.
Word. I ain't playing that game. I went to high school, had to deal with that kind of stuff, man.
See, I never had to deal with that stuff.
Like I always say, man, like a lot of stuff that black people say they ain't afford and all that. A lot of black people ain't never been through a lot of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you grew up in an all black, like Georgia's black.
Yeah.
Y'all, Atlanta's black.
Insulated.
You know what I'm saying? Metro Atlanta is black. So y'all ain't got to worry about a lot of that. You know what I'm saying?
When we do, we already know what we coming into, so it's like...
Right, y'all, remember, people... I know homeboy ain't been to Cobb County yet. I said, man, you got to get out to Cobb County, man. You got to get to the Battery. He talking about, I ain't going out there. He basing it off 96.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, bro, black people live in Cobb County now, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He be like, nah, I ain't 285. I'm good. I just be like, damn, that's... I'm sad about that, because I'm like, there's so much world out here that he got to see. I'm going everywhere they don't want me to go. Why? Because I got the right to go. How long I stay? All depends on how I am, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But all that, you thinking you about to just voice your opinion in that way to me and think it's just going to be cool, you're going to be able to walk away. You're not. You getting ashy. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I'm breaking skin. I ain't going for that, man. That's one word I'm not going for.
Yeah. And I can see why, because you intimately had
dealt with that, man. We went through that through high school. We were written on the desk and all this. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying?
We ain't get that.
But, hey, man, it is what it is. He ain't done, but I think Big Hill had to have a negotiation about that one.
Yeah. Say, please, just work with me, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Moving on, man. This one is heavy. And a lot of people feeling a lot of ways about this one. Rodney Hinton Jr. killed a cop after his son was unjustly killed by another cop. They showed the clip of him coming in the courtroom and staring. All the cops came out, and he stared every last one of them down. So for context, for what you don't know, his son was killed on camera by a cop. His son did have a weapon, but he never pointed it. He was running from the cop, and the cop shot him right then and there. So Rodney Hinton Jr., I think he had a car accident or something like that, and killed the cop in the process. And so when he went to court, and he pretty much was saying, "Y'all took my son, take one of y'all's." And so all the cops was there, and as he was walking out of court in his orange, he stared every last one of them down like they tried to intimidate him, and he was like, "Nah, we just gonna keep it how it's supposed to go." Of course, the nation had a lot to say about it. I don't think anybody is for killing, but at some point, there has to be an eye for an eye. Because anytime a cop gets off for doing this type stuff, nothing happens. And so this man took it upon himself to give his own justice. And I can't be mad at him because I don't know what it feels like to lose a son, and I don't know how I would react. He made his decision based off of, I would even say, just the energy of the nation and what has always happened with us. And he chose to take the law into his hands, and I can't say I don't blame him. What are your thoughts?
I always ask questions to people, like, does a sin of a sin that justifies the means make it still a sin? You know what I'm saying? Did the cop that he hit, was that the one that shot his son?
No.
See, that would be my issue. And I get his anger, I get all that, but you took the innocent life.
He can say the same for his son.
He can. You know what I'm saying? But the uniform, you was looking at any uniform. And my question to you at that point would be, if it was a black cop, would you have ran him over still? Now let's break it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't saying he right or wrong, because two families messed up at this point.
Right.
Do I think he was right for standing with his head held high? I always think you should stand your head held high, right or wrong. Don't ever submit to nothing, especially if you meant to do it. Always stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no use of ducking it.
Right.
Look at the people in the eye. So I would always understand that. Temporary insanity, I give him that. You know what I'm saying? Man was hurt, all that, but you might have took the life of somebody that was on your side. You know what I'm saying? Who might have felt like, damn, I wear this uniform, but I feel his pain. But you just took a life. We not supposed to be down here playing God, man. That ain't our job. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never been in a situation either. I just talked to the homie the other day who lost his son last year. I ain't seen him at work in some minutes. You know what I'm saying? Some hours, months, and a man just told me his son died. His only son. You know what I'm saying? And I asked him how he was doing. He said, I'm okay now. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't talked to the homie, so salute to him and his family. We was talking about that yesterday as I was walking to the bus stop. I don't know what it's like to lose a kid, man. Not in that fashion. Right. You know, so I don't know what my next steps would be. But I just know that I'm a person, man. If Sean do something to me, I need to get Sean.
I'm the same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I ain't in love with cops, man. I'm not. I'm not. It's not a love-hate relationship. It's just a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I still understand that they got a job to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we tired of a black man out here dying at the hands of cops. We is, and they need to stop. And justice sometimes has to go away that, you know, don't nobody want to talk about, just to get an eye opener on the situation. But just me being who I am, man, I rather him hit the dude
that got his son.
that killed his son. Right. If he was gonna go that way, man, just get the one that you supposed to get, not just one, because that's a family that's hurting too. And like I said, he might have been on your side.
Right. Right.
Sometimes wearing that uniform, man, like I got homeboys that wear that uniform, and it strains our relationship a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I never forget why they became my partners, my comrades, and none of that. I just don't like to talk to them when they got that uniform on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When you get off, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you know what I'm saying? I do get it. I would hate to get that call that one of my comrades, man, got taken out based on something that he didn't even do, just what he got on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I don't know, man. I hope the brother get off, though.
Yeah, I don't
You know what I'm saying?
think that's
I know he not, because they not. I mean, how many times you done seen that many cops in a courtroom? Right. I think I might have been on that kind of time too, because it was intimidation factor, and he was showing that he at that point, man, I don't even think he cared.
No.
Like if this it, man, I went out the way I wanted to, and he willing to stand on that, so I gotta salute that. No. I just I look at the other side of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I agree with that. But I also look at the system, and that's why I think we'll kind of stand on different sides on this one, right. Because I agree with everything you're saying, but I also look at, when you do have these cops that are killing like these innocent black kids or black men, black women, and then they get off. There's nothing that has a connection to say, well, he could have been at the police academy, right. But you took his life because you felt like you had authority to do so. Right. So it becomes us versus them at a certain point. Like you said, I have friends that are cops as well, and I'm never on that side of the law anyway, to where I'm, out here trying to do that type stuff. And I fear for them every time they go out there, because it is.
I always tell cops I run to stay safe, man.
Yes, indeed. You know what I mean? But when it gets to those, because I look at, in my free time, I look at cop videos, like the cams and it usually be where people stealing or lying and stuff like that. Yeah, I just be liking to see.
You looking at jail?
Not the jail stuff, but I just like to see the human behavior of people that's doing stuff wrong and how they try to cover it up and get out of it.
Don't nick young me. I got to use my phone right. Don't nick young.
But a lot of times, man, those people, they try to weasel out stuff, and the cops actually try to give people a chance. So when I see the cops that just out there just come out guns blazing, I have no love for them. Yeah. At all. And so that's why I also feel like it comes to a point to where it's us versus them.
Absolutely.
Now, if I were in his space, I probably would have went. I would have went on some Punisher type stuff. Find out this guy's name.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Find this guy's name out, and I'm a hunt him down. You know. Yeah. But yeah, man. So I hope that this isn't something that people start to do. I'm gonna start with that. Right. But I think that says a lot, or maybe make people look at it like, well, at some point, if people start, y'all want to act like anarchists out here. If we start acting like that, then it's just gonna be a straight up war. Yeah, civilians against the cops, and so I just hope, man,
minority civilians though.
Yeah, minorities. Yeah, that we don't take to that, and all of those things. So stay strong. Randy Hinton Jr., that's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely, man. Brother.
Stay strong.
I hope the best for you.
Yes, indeed. What you got, brother? I'm out.
I was looking at something before I got over here about therapy. And a gentleman said that he's a successful gentleman. He was like, he's scared to go to therapy at this point because everything is going so well. And he feel like if he go to therapy and get things corrected, he might lose his edge. He's an actor. He said he might lose his edge because some things that he used for acting comes from his real situations in life. He said
they call those method actors.
So he feel like if I get help for this, I might lose that, and I don't want to take that chance right now. And I was like, that was deep for me, because I'm like, are you telling me that you're gonna hold a problem because it makes you successful monetarily?
Yeah.
We gotta do better than that, because getting help with a problem could make you grow monetarily. You know what I'm saying? In the form of you open up another door that'll help you get further versus
advocate of.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, why is he even on the show at that point? It blew me away when he said that, but he was honest. You know what I'm saying? So I give him that. But I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something else. We always, we come back full circle all the time to talk about mental health for people and everything. I think everybody need to get help if you need it. Don't be scared to walk through that door, because that could open up other doors for you, because it might be something that you holding yourself back from doing because you got built up problems inside you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you lash out and people be like, I ain't being bothered. Like, and that ain't even you. You just got issues. You don't know how to deal with them.
Right.
So, I mean, just with that, man, just get some help if y'all need it. Please. Because I don't want to see nobody that, especially close to me, go out like that. Money's cool, but health is even better.
Yeah. I got to opine on that. Look at the way society is raising people now. It's all about money. You got people you had the dude going around on TikTok spraying Raid on fruit at Walmart for clicks. He was going in restaurants throwing like a bag of ice in the fryer.
I seen that part.
They locked him up, but he was getting likes and he was making money off of doing dumb stuff like that. So we're at a point in the world now that people don't care about morality. All they care about is getting these likes and these clicks, these subscriptions to make money off of doing dumb stuff. And with that situation, it's more, like you said, about making the money.
Yeah, like he said it.
I think it gets.
Yeah, he said it.
When you get to a certain point in your life, I'm not even gonna say an age or when you mature. When you get to a certain point in life and you realize that money isn't your saving soul, isn't the thing that you're gonna lay down with. Once you get to that point, you'll be able to release all those other things that you felt like you had to do to get this money, especially when you're sacrificing the well-being of your mental health. It's a lot of actors like that. They call them method actors, where they draw from their own experiences and these and that nature.
We watched the second best Joker die because he didn't want to get no help.
He didn't want no help. And he couldn't come out of character.
Himself.
Could not come out. Heath Ledger couldn't come out of character. But he was, to me,
that's crazy.
one of the best Jokers ever.
Second best.
Who was first?
Jack.
I knew you was going to say Jack. But yeah, man, so definitely, and it's funny you said that because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So yeah, man, people don't be afraid to go and sit down and talk to somebody. Especially, and I think we as black men, especially in the city and even suburbs, we tend to feel like we could figure everything out on our own.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest mistakes that I think we make as a people. I think our ego stops us from wanting to go and sit down and talk to somebody. I've just been one of the people that just say, I get tired of hitting my head against the wall.
Right.
And still nothing is happening. I still end up with the same result. So I say, well, let me try something else.
That's real.
And that's how I ended up going to therapy. And it was an eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't lean on it.
It usually is.
Yeah, I don't lean on it. I'm not saying go in there and just be, but just give it a shot.
Go in there and be butt naked.
You got to give it a shot.
Yeah, go in there and be butt naked, man. Just
give it all up.
Why go if you ain't going to be real about it? Go in there and unlock every door, every window you got, and just get it out. Yes, somebody indeed. There to help you.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all got something crazy if we pass that. Yesterday was Mother's Day. So, all the time y'all see this, to all the mothers that didn't get a Happy Mother's Day from the show, Happy Mother's Day to you.
Yes, indeed.
Who do you buy a gift for? Your mother? Your kid's mother? From the kids or from you? Like, who gets the gift? And
I think we had this.
Like, should your mother's gift be bigger than your child's mother's gift? Because technically she ain't your mother.
She ain't your mama.
You know what I'm saying? Mama. Like, who gets the gift? Like, and how important is the gift? Like, is it if somebody's hurt because they didn't get a big gift for Mother's Day? Was you in it for the gift, or just the notion that somebody's acknowledging you as a great mother on this calendar day? Right. Like, because if I give you a card, some flowers, and be like, boom, but then I go out and buy my mama a TV. Are you upset at that? I mean, I'm just saying because you're not my mother.
Right. I didn't come out of you.
Yeah. I came in you. Right. I didn't come out of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Like, so, like, right. It was amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? I just watching, that blue dot and that red one. Just, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people upset, man.
Really?
I mean, that gift matters, man. Like,
wow.
Like,
Yeah.
I get if you got kids, okay, you gotta, buy the gift from the kids, but do you put a cap on that? Like, hey, y'all ain't got no money. I mean,
It's coming out of my pocket.
like,
But you a great mom.
yeah, you're a great mom, but we gonna.
I gotta give my mama something too. Now.
I definitely gotta give my mama something. Like, hold on now.
So yeah.
I know they say mother comes second after you get married. Still my mom on this day though.
Yeah.
Like I call my.
That's
I don't.
Mother's Day.
I tell my mother Happy Mother's Day first. Everybody else got to wait.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? You a great mother, it's cool. But let me tell my mama first, and then we can go on with the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think we get lost in the whole Mother's Day facade of this whole big celebration and all of this, and it's cute. But at the end of the day, I only got one. I only came out of one joint.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so I'm only obligated.
I wish Spo was
quote,
around.
unquote.
Spo could definitely answer this because he's a great husband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know he loves his wife more
So
than
you gonna
anything, and I
give
know he
praise.
loves his
You
mother.
gonna give praise to your wife.
Yeah.
For being a great mother.
Right.
But I can tell you now, they was at
Yeah, he went to
they was at my Brenda house.
Yeah. He went to the chop house or something.
Yeah, they was with her all day.
One thing about Credit, he gonna solve a problem.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? He probably ain't
He gonna put it all together.
If I take them together,
We good.
everybody good.
Everybody
You know what
good.
I'm saying?
And that's exactly what happened. Then his brother posted the receipts with the gratuity.
I mean, that's y'all thing, man. I'm starting to get into it with y'all. I am starting to, go down that road with y'all, but
Hey, with the gratuity.
I mean, it was about it was about 12 of them at the table, man.
That's supposed to be in there.
So I mean,
That's supposed to be
come
in
on,
there.
man. If everybody
But if I go sit down
sometimes
by
you look
myself-
at the gratuity, man, and be like, okay, $5 a person, it's the same thing. Sometimes you look at it like,
big groups, you're going to get that.
yeah, you'd be like, okay, that's $5 a person. All right, whatever.
But when you go sit down,
No,
like I said, the last time I
yeah,
went,
you solo dolo, yeah,
and they hit me with the 20 piece,
yeah. Like, damn, baby,
what?
you don't need to ask me to refill this twice.
Then I had a friend hit me the other day, told me she went out, got a beer, a bottle of water, and her check was $30
I can see that. Yeah,
and an 18% gratuity.
absolutely.
She said she got up out of there so fast.
Yeah. You can say, hey, did you open the water yet? You can take that back. Yeah, I mean, it's getting outrageous, but I hate to say it. The only way it comes down is we stop going.
Yeah.
Get back to throwing house gatherings
Yeah.
or just doing nothing.
Which is hard for y'all to do. Y'all can't even sit in the quiet house. Anyway, man. What else you got, brother, before we walk on
Let's
up
get on
out
up out of here, man. I got to go play with some weights.
Okay.
It's that time of day for me.
Better you than me. I ain't messing with that. But anyway, man, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us once again. We always enjoy the camaraderie. And like I said, we ain't been on and folks been in my ear. Man, what's up with the show? What you mean? I'm like, we just chilling. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Be cool. Be cool. And I appreciate y'all hanging with us. So we gonna continue to give y'all what we got when we get it. And I think Crespo was supposed to be working on a bowling.
Y'all can't really bowl, man. Just stay at the house.
So you done started already with the
Y'all go for fun. I'm trying to win.
with the anger already.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, so we'll keep y'all posted on that. And like I said, we're gonna keep doing what we doing, enjoying the conversations and the entertainment that we bring to y'all. And just keep hanging with us. And y'all seen the numbers or whatever, the YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe. Check us out. Check out the videos. We gonna be around. What you got, 18?
We'll see y'all in a couple weeks or something. I ain't even tell y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Quality over quantity.
Indeed. All right.
Shout out to everybody who support us. Sisters with T, the brother with the heating and cooling, Root Intellect, Josh Skincare.
Yes, indeed.
So good barbecue sauce. Shout out to everybody.
Yes, indeed. And we got some stuff coming. Y'all just sit tight, man. Y'all know how we do. We get in our pockets, and when we get in that pocket, we gonna kill it. Y'all stay with us.